Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jeremy, founder of quickmail.com.
And this is Jack, Chief Lead Generation Officer at salesbread.com. Today we got a teardown.
Teardown.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's true.
Shame on us. It's time for some good old-fashioned cold email teardowns, and it's a head-to-head teardown.
That's right. It's a battle teardown. And this time we're going to look at how two people, I think we call them Sandra and Sarah. No, John. Simon. Yeah, Simon and Sandra. They're both heading or leading a cold outreach company or agency, and they're trying to reach out for new prospects. Which one's winning? Which one's doing it better? What's your take on it? Yeah, we'll spill the beans.
That's right. And before we put those two cold emails head to head, let's first hear from our sponsors, because today most B2B companies lack the time or the expertise to turn your cold prospects into warm sales qualified leads. That's why at salesbread.com, we're going to bring you one lead a day by sending ultra personalized cold emails and LinkedIn messages on your behalf. So you don't have to worry about list building, copywriting, or just being a flat out cold outreach expert. So if more leads is what you're after, head over to salesbread.com and let's get in touch.
All right. Well, I do a very quick pitch. If you're looking for a cold outreach solution that is scalable and reliable with amazing support, head over to quickmail.com and give it a try.
Well said, Jeremy. All right, I want a 10-minute timer up as we go ahead and switch over to screen sharing mode here. Let's see what happens. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Probably.
I do.
Yeah.
And the timer is up.
It's gonna
so
work.
What do we got today?
We've got two first touch messages. First one I'll read is from Sandra. Subject line reads, inbox management question, Jeremy.
Jack, how about we go like part by part? So like we did last time.
Do that.
So let's look at the subject and let's see who's winning points here.
Okay. Subject, inbox management question, Jeremy, compared to subject, question dash, Jeremy.
I don't know who's winning there, really, honestly.
Here's what it boils down to. Would you open both of them?
Damn.
Does one of them? That's okay. Does one of them scream cold email? I actually think the question hyphen Jeremy screams, I'm about to read a cold email. I would, at least today, I would not send my colleague question dash name anymore. So I'm giving the point to Sandra. What do you got?
Yeah, at the same time, I think it means absolutely nothing. Well, I don't think it's really a great subject or, you know, preparing me to what I'm going to read, right?
Yeah, none of us are saying, woohoo, let's add this to our swipe file.
How about we give them both 0 points?
Fine, but in my book, Simon gets -1.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, let's go with it. So we give 1 point to Sandra and 0 to Simon. Sorry, Simon, you lost on this one.
All right, I feel like commenting. I won't. All right, so let's check it out. So Sandra says, good morning, Jeremy. Wanted to reach out because using our AI appointment setter, we've helped sales companies like yours lower lead response times to 2 to 4 minutes and book 5.3x more meetings in 15 minutes without training sales reps or ramp up time. A lot going on there. Let's read Simon's. Hey, Jeremy, if QuickMail is currently struggling to keep up with the competition, we can help you by placing prospect powerhouse systems in your company that generate 3+ qualified sales calls every week, and you only pay for the call if it's actually qualified. Oh, well, boy.
Yeah.
You're not a sales company. So Sandra is dinged here. It's just, I mean, am I wrong? Do you read that and say, like,
I don't see myself as a sales company for sure.
I don't think. Yeah. So minus a point there. What do you make of this?
I give a -point for good morning. Like, honestly, like, whoever starts an email with good morning? I don't know. Like, I just scrap everything and just say, Jeremy wanted to reach out. That'd be much nicer. This is your style. Yeah.
You're right. But we still need to declare a winner for this round.
I do like the numbers. honestly, there's a lot of numbers, but at least it proves me like, I don't know, at least they got some understanding of lots of metrics. I don't know. What do you
Yeah,
think?
and they probably grabbed you because you're the data guy.
Fair
Right.
point. Fair point.
Yeah.
I do like the
Now,
2 to 4 minutes, right?
so do I. 5.3x more meetings is not. uh, it's like saying we'll give you 100 more bonanza points. Like they don't know where your
Yeah.
stats are. So because of the sales company reference, which is inaccurate, and the 5.3x, I think what they're trying to do is share case study data.
Yeah, it's a mini case study that is just like
Uh-huh.
basically value numbered, and I have to trust you on. It's like,
That's right. So watch this though. Where do I assign the winner? I'm going to Simon because while they weren't as snappy in their copywriting, they just stated we'll give you 3 sales calls a week and you only pay for the call if it's actually qualified. I think that's going to carry more weight.
yeah, that's a fair point. That yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, both seems pretty
What you need
similar,
to
but I
know,
agree.
you need to know, or I'll
I
be
know
the
it's a battle.
tiebreaker.
Okay, it's a battle teardown. Gosh.
Point for Simon for me. What do you got?
I I like what you're saying, but I think I'll still keep my point on Sandra. Like I want to understand more their
Okay.
system, and I am more curious because the three qualified sales, every week, it's more realistic and more tangible. I'd like to understand. I'd like to discover like what's the system of the other guy.
How? Yeah, I didn't mention something. Prospect Powerhouse Systems makes me gag a little bit. Maybe it's appropriate for a long sales page, but it feels a bit jargony and right, like just tell people what you do.
Yeah,
If it's set doing cold outreach, just I would have liked to see cold outreach as opposed to Prospect Powerhouse Systems.
agreed. And the for Sandra on the left, it really feels like they're using all the buzzword and throwing everything at me, like AI appointment setters, and then
Response time,
5.3 X
yeah.
meetings and 15 minutes. Like of course they're
Yeah.
sending a lot of things, but that's still I'm curious. I think basically they unlock my sort of like curiosity on this one, where
Okay.
the other one is like, yeah, sure, you have a good system in place. So I guess from a point of view of like, do I actually need a proper system like this serious and so on? I'd probably go more with Simon. But who is piquing my curiosity? It's like not Simon, it's Sandra by far. Does that make sense?
It does, but so it sounds like Sandra gets your point.
Yeah.
All right. So
I
that
would
brings our
respond to
totals.
Sandra. I probably wouldn't to Simon.
Okay. So at the
But
moment, Simon has 0 because of the -1 + 1. And then Sandra has 1. Let's carry on.
but
It's a close battle here.
but bear in mind, like, yeah, the call to action will probably do a lot of that decision in the end. So anyway.
Here we go. Let's try something. Next portion or paragraph says no high setup fees, no monthly retainers, and no more training inbox managers that churn. Okay. Simon said, parentheses, this would get you to outperform your competition. No punctuation. You can't win with that, Simon.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
And Sandra is
yeah.
just picking up curiosity. It's like, no, it's not this, no, it's not that. And even without this, like, oh man, how you're doing it,
I'm a
It's
little surprised
copywriting.
you didn't say this is for the follow-up, mentioning the fee structure.
That's a good point. I don't know how the follow-up is because I didn't receive a follow-up on this one.
Okay. Not a lot to be learned from Simon's side. And I would just, little word of caution, try not to flood your reader with info, even data.
Yeah.
If you think it may lose your points on the clarity of your message. Should we give it to Sandra?
Yeah, I think so. But what would you say if Simon said instead of this would get you to outperform your competition, they actually name my competition?
Way better already. Now, then
because if they do
that
that,
was
I'm like, oh
mentioned,
shit, they know what they're talking about. Right?
I was going to say this though, like if we really were reading this would get you to outperform XYZ competitor. I wonder if we would be sitting there saying like, Really? Is that all? Is that all it would take to outperform the #1 competitor in the space? Like
That's a fair point.
But it would still be better. At least it shows that they know who they're talking to here. Okay, let's move on to the call to action.
Yeah.
Okay. Sandra says, mind if I send you a short 4-minute video showing how it works? Simon says, I actually made a doc on how we could do it for you. Can I send it to you? Just like the subject, using the first name, it feels like related sentences here. They're both doing one thing, which is getting permission to send more details, one in a video and one in a doc. So which one is more appropriate? Sandra wins for me.
Me too. I like the mind if, and it's like, it's just at the end, I think what gets me to Sandra is more the copywriting than Simon, because Simon, I see them day in, day out, right? I see plenty of them. And so I sort of like tune off, but this one actually piqued my interest. And I think it's kudos to the way, she's framing stuff or like phrasing stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm a sucker for that. But
that's okay.
I think in a world of C where we're getting like bombarded with lots of things, people who actually come with a different touch is actually more interesting. And it's a 4 minutes video. I know it's going to be 4 minutes. I'm not agreeing on something else. So it's kind of like a implicit contract right there, and I don't have to watch it. So
sounds good. I'll say, if you analyze Simon's email on the right, what's going on here? It's essentially a guarantee and a call to action. It is not to say that that alone won't work, but if that's what you're going for, what's kind of interesting here is I feel like this could be chopped down significantly so that you remove the middle. This would get you to outperform. Throw in what I believe is going to be essential here is like some better personalization. But I'm just going to flat out say use Simon's approach in a better way if you don't have a glowing case study or data that you can share like Sandra. My take on Sandra, and we still have to read her PSs, but that 5x more meetings, call me crazy, Jeremy, but I could have seen that hyperlinked to a case study on their website, right? Nice. So you don't have to go into detail, but if you're piquing your curiosity, you can check it out yourself.
Yeah, plus it will also give you a good indicator of how much people are interested, in seeing your case study. I like it. I mean, at the end, they're very similar into what they're saying and suggesting, both of them. So for Sandra, I have the feeling like, oh, she's got a sort of like secret way of doing it. Well, with Simon, it's like, oh, he's got, a process for doing things, right? So pretty much different angle.
We're out of time, but we should read the PSs.
Yeah, let's do it quickly.
I love PSs. First one, these are both from Sandra. It says, PS, we've trained our AI model on the best objection handling tactics in the game. And when I read that, Jeremy, do you know what comes to my mind right away?
Tell me.
It makes me want to send an objection reply and see how it works.
Maybe I should try that.
It would have been better if it read, try it if you're curious, say anything. Let's see. So you could see for yourself. That would have been cool.
That's funny as hell.
Yeah, thanks. And then we have a PPS, which nobody needs to know this, but it stands for postscript. Just reply, no thanks, and I'll vanish from your inbox. Lame. I think that's just like, that's just to appease the legal department or the legal brain. Nothing really good out of there, especially from the objection handling AI that would be fun to test out. All right.
You should merge the two, like saying something like, hey, you didn't put your address. This is not CAN-SPAN compliant or whatever. That's an objection. Let's see how they handle it.
Let's see how they go. Yeah, they'll bring an AI lawyer. That's it for me, Jeremy. I want to check in. You got anything else floating around?
No, I think I'm good. We did it within the 10 minutes. So I think I will sort of like conclude like, what approach would you actually recommend? It will be like Simon with sort of like better case study, or like more chops, or the
Simon,
secret, fear of missing out type of like teaser of Sandra.
Sandra, if you have the case study and maybe the curiosity angle, and Simon, if you can clean it up, add personalization, and stand by that guarantee, it's perfect if you're just getting started. I mean, right? Like, let your guarantee bring in the first couple clients for you.
Love it.
Cool. Jeremy, great cast. And if you're still listening, it means you're either busily jotting down these cold emails to add to your swipe file, or you dig the podcast. If that's you, the second one, then we encourage you to check out course.quickmail.io for the extended version of the podcast, if you will. This is the masterclass Jeremy and I sat down and spent across 3 different countries, because we had to get it right. Our kind of 8-week program that takes you from, let's say, moderate cold email sender to knowing what the best agencies in the world do to get results for their clients. That's over at course.quickmail.io. Is it course.quickmail.io?
Yeah, it's still the IO for
Still
now, but it
.io.
will be a redirect if we ever change it. So you could still
Okay.
safely go to course.quickmail.io.
Safely go there and take it for that risk-free 30-day trial. You got nothing to lose. Up your skills. That's it for me. Thanks, Jeremy.
Awesome. Thank you, Jack. Bye.
Cool.